Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 65 of the Seezus Show. Back at it again. Another week of a fun-filled, um, you know, a fun-filled NBA season. It's been great so far. There's always something to talk about. Just when you think, it's going to become stagnant or something like that, there's always some incoming breaking news. So I'm always glad to share that with you guys and give our take on that as well too. But before we get into today's topic, I just want to rehash on episode 64. So on episode 64 of the Caesar Show, obviously my co-host here, Trey, was back with me again, and we talked about week 2 in the NBA. So Steph Curry's injury, Luka versus Bron, KD's first take interview that he had was with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman and Molly Karam, and much more. So great week. Some more things have happened, like I said. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for my co-host, Trey.
You already know what's going on. Coming off a strong homecoming weekend. I'm not sure how y'all figured it out, how y'all fared out, but coming off a strong homecoming weekend, man. There was a lot of I saw a lot of lazy eyes here and there. I saw a lot of stumbling, a lot of conversations that we probably don't remember. But hey, big ups to you if you enjoyed yourself over the last weekend. And if you're enjoying life in general. But you already know what's going on. It's Trey Day all day. I'm here with Sir Seezus, and we about to get it in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But so even before we get into today's topics, man, you had tryouts. So rehash with the audience about what exactly the team name is, what you're doing, and how tryouts went.
Oh, so bet I am at New Community School, which is a school in the area, the greater Richmond area, and given the first kind of keys to the boat, I guess, me and my good friend AJ, me being his assistant coach, him being the head coach, just to kind of evaluate talent, put kids in the right space. It's not no Division One feeder basketball school. It's not the top prep school in the country by any means, but it's a middle school, and I'm just really excited to influence the youth and give back from a basketball means and a life means, because I've been through a little bit of stuff at 23, and they've are going through stuff being preteens and progressing in their young adult life as well. So I'm really excited, thankful for the opportunity, and hey, I'm ready to rock. You already know.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Keep me updated. Whenever you guys have games, let me know. I will
sure.
pull up and show all the love.
Sure.
But are you ready for today's hottest topics?
You already know what's going on.
All right,
Seven Cinco.
Let's get it. So the biggest thing in the NBA that's been brought up, that's been hitting the news, the headlines, whatever you want to call it, is this 2-word term called load management. So many of you guys who don't know what load management is, apparently load management is essentially when you can't play because you're putting the whole city on your back. And I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. So obviously, guys, to take you guys back to memory lane, Kawhi Leonard missed not last season but the season before, only played 9 games, and he basically had a quad injury that was mishandled. He was misdiagnosed with San Antonio Spurs training and health team and whatnot. From there, he went to get a second opinion. There was a rift between the Spurs organization, his camp, what was going on, decided not to play, and ended up getting traded, going to Toronto. Went to Toronto, better environment, obviously won a championship. But throughout that span, he only played 60 games, and he was on some load management recovery. So it was kind of different because he was coming from nursing that quad injury, but at the same time, he wasn't able to play back-to-backs. So luckily for the Toronto Raptors, they're a pretty well-oiled machine as well, too. Had Nick Nurse, who's a proven coach, I would say, at this point in time. And also, they're in the Eastern Conference. So he was able to set out those games and, let the team play the weaker teams within that back-to-back as well, too. So basically this year, when it was NBA and media availability, media day or whatever, he got asked by one of the reporters. They were like, well, you seem a little bit fully healthy. Do you see yourself playing more games, back-to-backs? He said, for sure, I feel very, very healthy, and I'm more than likely going to be playing more than 60 games this year. Obviously, there's injuries to take into consideration as well, too. So he missed his first back-to-back against I can't remember the team name. He missed his first back-to-back. I don't know if it was I can't remember the name of the team.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, against Utah, I think. I think against Utah. No, who did he miss his first game against? I can't remember. Anyways, he missed one back-to-back game due to load management. I really wasn't too mad because I already know what was going on. And then after that, he missed a game against the Bucks. So basically, with the back-to-back with the Bucks, it's going to be the Bucks. I think Monday night, and then who did he lose to? Was it the Nuggets? It may have been no, it's preseason. Let me see. Spurs, Clippers, Hornets. It's whatever game they lost. No, they lost to the Suns. Yeah.
Charge to the game. Charge to the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it don't even matter at this point. But anyways, they so basically they had a back-to-back night. I think both televised games. One was against the Bucks, and then the other one was against the Blazers. So
Spurs, Jazz, Bucks, Blazers has been their last 4 games.
yeah, but yeah, so Bucks, Blazers. Everyone was anticipating. Obviously, it's a nationally televised game, so people were waiting to see the rematch with Giannis versus Kawhi because obviously Giannis was the past Finals MVP.
Yeah.
They had the overall best record in the entire NBA and the Eastern Conference. They made each other in conference finals. Giannis and his team were up 2-0. Kawhi and the Raptors snatched it, so they built that wall. Couldn't do anything about it. The game got exposed, and that was that. So people, the fans, wanted to see them go back at it and, let people remind you why I'm the Finals MVP. Let people remind you why I'm, the regular season MVP and how I got a chip on my shoulder. How I'm trying to prove everybody wrong as well, too. Didn't play. People caught slack. And it's just been a whole frenzy around the whole league. You even have people like Giannis, who even took a little bit of shots. He said, I can't speak to what other teams or what other players do. I want to play. The 3-time All-Star told Yahoo Sports, if I don't get my work in, I don't feel good. Antetokounmpo told Yahoo Sports, like Michael Jordan said, hard work eliminates fear. If you don't harvest your technique, you don't feel good, you're not getting a rhythm. So I always like going back at night and getting some extra shots. It's a battle I'm trying to get in the gym. I'm trying to get better. I've got a lot of room to grow. LeBron James came out and said, if I'm not hurt, then I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? Then James Harden said, if I'm hurt, of course I won't play. If I'm a little banged up, I'll push through to a certain extent. Then he said, have you ever seen me not play because of load management? Then kind of scoffed at it. So a lot of players were taking shots at that because, at the end of the day, you're kind of collecting a check. And I kind of agree to a certain extent because from a fan standpoint, you definitely want to get your money's worth. And I can speak on it I can speak on it from a fan standpoint. So, for example, I'm a Spurs fan. You guys already know that. I went to a Spurs game back when the Big Three was still there. Nice. And I got to see Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan at Washington, D.C. with my boy Sterling and my brother. And Kawhi didn't play. This was because he was injured, so he had a broken finger at that point in time. And I think that was the year they actually won the championship. And then fast forward to last year when he got traded to the Raptors, I went to a Wizards game as well too, and it was a back-to-back game, and he didn't play. I was pretty pissed because they didn't let the fans or the buying people, members or whatever, the purchasers, they didn't let them know until I think a couple hours before the game started, and I already had purchased my ticket as well too. The game still ended up being good. I got to see glimpses of whatever, but it's like, damn, from a fan standpoint, you're kind of blown. And then when you have from a player standpoint, well, I feel like the reason why he's not playing is I think he actually does have some form of injury that's kind of lingering, because if you look at his past injury history, besides that ankle being rolled and whatnot, he's always been battling those quad injuries. So maybe he probably can play back-to-backs, but he doesn't want to risk it, and he probably gets a lot of treatment afterwards as well too. And then you got to honestly blame people like Coach Pop. Coach Pop was one of the OGs who, handled load management with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. But the thing that was different about them was he was trying to preserve them not only for the playoffs, but they were kind of a little towards the end of their prime, on their way out. And that's what he used to do as well, too. But what are your thoughts on this whole load management issue? Do you think the league should take notice of it? But at the same time, I feel like it's honestly just for Kawhi. No one else is really taking time off like that unless they're actually hurt or whatever. But what are your thoughts on the whole, load management thing?
Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Where are they selling chocolate? But so like if y'all know that that's the SpongeBob episode where the shawty they were faking, right? They were just faking like yo like you remember? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
grandma.
With the grandma,
Yeah,
they was capping. They were capping these, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But and they were talking about that from a physical standpoint. What I really think is that we haven't seen a player take this approach to his health before.
Yeah.
And we might be more mad at the mindset than we are the player because Kawhi's proven. Kawhi's won plenty. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have much to prove. It's not about Kawhi's legacy because he's put old people on his back and played with a team that was good. You know, they're a little bit older, but they were a good big three. He's put a new team on his back. He's carrying the Clippers right now. He's carrying the city of LA, the part that's not carried by Anthony Davis and LeBron James and supporting cast and Danny Green. But like, bruh, like, I just, there were some shots taken, but in my mind, in the back of my mind, you play devil's advocate. It's like, well, maybe you guys are saying that because you might not be as good as Kawhi. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of like a little big brother in them. It's like, yo, let's get that one-on-one. I'm trying to run it back. I'm trying to. It's like, nah. Like, I'm not gonna play today. Then he finally comes out the next day. You didn't shot all day the day before. You're like, all right, I'm about to get you. He sons you again. He sons you again. My guy. You like what, bro? I have a friend named John Treehorn, right? And John used to take me. We used to go back near Shore Drive near Virginia Westland. And John's about maybe 5 years older than me at best. Okay, he went to Western Branch in NoCo, down in the 7.5, 7.5. And John would take me out. We would hang out. He would get me better at basketball. But John, every time we would finish working out, we do some drills, stuff like that. I would be a little bit hurting and stuff. But I'll be right. I'm about to get John today. John would bust my ass, my guy. And I'm talking like, bro, like, John's probably 6'3". I'm 6'1", 6'2". John's 6'3", 6'4". And John's just, good defense, Trey. Splash. Good defense, Trey. Splash. Good defense, Trey. Splash. Now, John wasn't taking me out every day. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to wait like a week before me and John would get back together. It might be 2 days, then like a week off. But I'm like, all right, I'm going to get John again, all right? I done put the shots up. I done did everything. And I'm relating this to a load management standpoint because you're not seeing this person every single day. You're not going to get them on demand, one, because they are at a higher plane. They're at a higher playing field. And if somebody is trying to decide a way to take care of their body we've never seen before, I can't really be mad at that. I can't be mad at that at all because people break down in their mid-30s, you know what I'm saying, all the time. And Kawhi wants to play for a long time. He takes care of his body. He's top 3 easily in the NBA. And for us to come and say, oh, well, he should be playing back-to-back games, probably shouldn't keep it a stack. Why am I going to stick him on these low-ass teams, like these low-level teams, just to play? Let's get the big games. Let's win championships rather than you playing the back-to-back on games. We probably just don't need you. Young boys can be getting their stats, and you could be relaxing and icing, and we could win championship after championship after championship. Because lo and behold, it's going to come down to he has to play LeBron James and AD probably in the Western Conference Finals, or maybe even the Houston Rockets, and he can't play if he's hurt. Or if he has a nagging injury. So if it all works out for the greater good by any means, my guy, get your rest, get your money. You heard?
Exactly, and that's what it is. It's the bigger picture. At the end of the day, what do the fans, what do the media, what does everyone else judge these players off of? Wins and losses. Those wins and losses are championships or not.
Yeah, that's hype.
So if that's what the end product is, then it shouldn't really matter if you take off a couple games. You know what I'm saying?
On back-to-backs.
On back-to-backs against a lower tier team. There's a chance that I'm gonna be mad, but I'm not gonna be too mad because the experience is gonna be it's gonna be great too.
Just let the fans know. Let the fans know in advance.
Let the fans know. And me and Austin kind of copped our Clippers Wizards tickets last week. They're playing on December the 8th, and I think that is a back-to-back.
Yeah,
so
Kawhi's
they play
not
the
playing.
Wizards, and then they play the Pacers.
Kawhi's not
I'm
playing.
hoping since he didn't play last year, he kind of remembers that and just plays against them.
He's not playing.
Hopefully, if not, then at least PG will probably be there because he's supposed to be back this upcoming Wednesday. We'll talk about that a little later as well too. But yeah, like I said, bigger picture, it is what it is. And honestly, he probably picked Portland over the Bucks because he's saying, "Yo, in the playoffs, more than likely we're going to play against them, potentially in the first round matchup." So let me.
It's a mind game.
Let me go against the West team. So everybody, stop being mad. At the end of the day, do your research. It's very rare. And at the end of the day, too, like, even if you buy tickets in advance to watch a game, let's say, for example, we're going to talk about this later, too, Gordon Hayward gets hurt, and that's your favorite player you want to watch. Like, you can't do nothing about that. So
At all.
it really just depends. Like I said, load management is something that we're going to continue to, be monitoring as the weeks go by and the days go by and whatnot. But that is what it is at the end of the day.
On God.
On God. So Phoenix Suns are off to a hot start right now, man. They're 6-3 in the Western Conference. I think they're 5th right now.
It's young.
And it's crazy, like, what Monty Williams has been able to do.
He's killing it, bro.
If you would have told me that the Phoenix Suns would have a better record than the Golden State Warriors, I would have been like, hell no, what are you talking about? But, man, they got depth, they play together, and they play defense. And that's what I like about it as well, too. And then you have a guy with Devin Booker who finally has a point guard who isn't the best but can get the job done in Ricky Rubio. So basically,
I think Ricky Rubio's a good point guard.
I think he's good,
Not best in the league.
Not the best in the league, but
he's
starting caliber point guard.
Very efficient.
But you got a guy with Ricky Rubio who is everything you need in a point guard, honestly, especially for Devin Booker's skill set. So it makes the game easier for him, opens up the game for him too. And then you got Aaron Baines, who I guess is kind of a blessing in disguise, the fact that DeAndre Ayton's not even back yet.
He's not back yet.
But his ability to stretch the floor just makes it even better for them. But do you think this is going to last? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Just tell me how you feel about, your Phoenix Suns. Not your Phoenix Suns, my Phoenix Suns.
The Phoenix Suns. My Phoenix Suns, Western Horizon. But I think it's a young season. They're playing really well. They got some good pieces. And, again, DeAndre Ayton's not even back, which could be a good thing in disguise, him being one of their best players. And I just think this kind of comes down to, like, down the stretch because, teams turn it on going towards either the All-Star break or a little bit after the All-Star break because that's really playoff basketball time, like right before and after the All-Star break. But I think the Suns have a good little resume for, like, the bottom of that West that, anything can happen.
And let's think about it. Sorry for cutting you off, but they lost to so when they lost their games, they lost to the Suns by the Nuggets by 1 point.
Okay.
They beat the Clippers.
Okay.
They lost to the Utah Jazz by 1 point. Beat the Warriors. Beat the Grizzlies. Beat the 76ers. Lost to.
And their point average is literally like a good 110. Like they're averaging like 110 points a game.
And a lot of these teams they're beating are like pretty like they're playoff picture teams right now. But anyways, keep going. Sorry for cutting you off.
No. I could round them out at the bottom of the West. I mean, if I kick the Pelicans out.
Warriors are definitely out.
Warriors out. Put the Mavs and them in. In the perennial powers already. But I think the Mavs and them are. We're talking kind of like NCAA basketball. The last four in, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think I could put the Suns in there based on how they're playing. I have to create a better list a little bit later. But the way they're averaging points is literally like a Mike D'Antoni system. Like that's tough. So I fuck with it heavy. So hey.
Okay. Cool. Where do you think they finish in the West? When it's all said and done. And
7 or 8.
7 or 8. Yeah, I say they get the 8 seed. Give whoever the 1 seed is, probably like the Lakers or the Rockets, a little scare.
Yeah.
We'll see what goes from there. And I think Devin, since Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and KD are all out, that opens up 2 spots for All-Stars in the West. And I think Devin Booker is definitely going to be that person that gets that backcourt spot.
Yeah.
And as far as the front court, I guess Luke is the backcourt too, right?
He's the backcourt, yeah.
He's backcourt.
Yeah.
So those are 2 spots that open up as well too.
6'7", 6'6".
OD. So Miami Heat, man. Dion Waiters experienced a panic attack on the team's charter flight Thursday night after consuming a THC-infused edible, sources told ESPN. So, apparently, Waiters received medical treatment after the plane landed in L.A. following the Heat's victory over the Phoenix Suns. Waiter was listed as out for the Friday night's game against the Lakers because of illness and did not attend the game. Waiters missed the game in Phoenix because of a stomach ache and was seeking relief when he took an edible he was unfamiliar with, sources said. League rules prohibit the use of THC, one of the main compounds in cannabis. The Heat declined to comment. Waiters flew back to Miami with the Heat on Saturday. The Andy Slater show first reported that Waiters had a reaction to gummies on Friday, and then the Heat suspended Waiters for their season opener last month for conduct detrimental to the team. After he expressed frustration about his role in the team as well too, took it to social media as well too. So he's going to be suspended for the next 10 games. And since he's suspended for the next 10 games, he's going to be losing about $1.2 million in contract bonus if he misses the 4 games this season, which he will. But he's still going to be owed $24 million. What are your thoughts on Dion Waiters just taking an edible? Like, out of all things, I get you in LA and weed and all that, but like,
idiot,
you got a job to do. But yeah, tell me how you feel about this.
Idiotic, dog. That's idiotic, my guy. Take some NyQuil if you have anxiety on a plane, or maybe we're just being a hot boy. I don't know, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, bruh, I ain't about to judge you. But dog, an edible, and he was already in hot water, like failing in like the physical and stuff like that.
Physical, bro.
Like, bro, like, I mean, I understand, like, it seems sometimes that when you down bad, stuff keeps going bad, and maybe he's in the valley rather than the mountaintop. But bro, you can't do. After a while, he's like, yo, you gotta take yourself out of the equation as far as some dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, load management from a personal standpoint, when stuff's going wrong, it's like, all right, let me stop making bad decisions, because clearly I might have got here from a bad or uninformed decision. Let me take myself out of it. I'm going to make the best decisions I know, or consult with my friends. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to some hot boy stuff, I try to run away from some hot boy stuff when I'm down bad, you know? And the edible on a plane just sounds like some down bad like, you know what I'm saying? Like if that's the pattern, you know, it's like, all right, I'm going to go on my work trip, and I'm going to be high around my boss and GM on the plane. How does that sound, my guy? like I saw this joint, and you sent it to me on Instagram, and I was just like, there's some stuff I look at, and there's some stuff I see, and I just like, all right, go back to my timeline, you know, like, damn, she got a good all black dress on. All right, bet, you know what I'm saying? It's that. I just had to be like, it sounds like some shit Dion Waiters would do right now, because that's how they label stuff, bro. And I want to see people get paid. I want to see you get paid, Dion Waiters. But like, you're not gonna get paid doing that. You heard me? Like, take some NyQuil next time, my guy. Come on now, that's wild, bro. And you could be an intricate part to this team. You are a baller, my guy. You're a baller. And I don't know if it's like super plain anxiety, but there's so many other drugs that could put you to sleep that's legal, and for you not to miss out on $1.2 million, something you could send me. I could pay my fucking rent and my student loans. You could send that to me and Sewell. You could fly out here and be on the podcast, Dion Waiters, but you missing out on $1.2 million just for an edible that you could have took in the off season, or once you was back balling for real, you could have been high and playing. I don't know, bro, but on the block side, you gotta cool off. You heard? That's my 2 cents on that, bro. That's idiotic, my guy.
And what sucks is like, Pat Riley don't take that shit. Like, he don't take shit at all. But what sucks is that, like, I was very high on Dion Waiters. I felt like he's always been slighted wherever he was at, and he finally got a chance
to. He's a hooper.
He's a hooper. He finally got a chance to, you know, kind of prove himself. Obviously, D-Wade came back, kind of took a reduced role. And obviously, you got the emergence of, you know, Tyler Hero. Also, Jimmy Butler's in the picture. And what's his name that went to Duke? Justice Winslow is developing as well, too.
Been playing point for
them. It seems like, and obviously, he kind of did it to himself with not, you know, fitting the criteria of what they were looking for as far as, like, their conditioning and whatnot as well, too. So he kind of brought that upon himself. But it's just like, now, damn, my whole thing was, like, they're good with their wings/guards.
Yeah,
I think they're fine.
They need a big man. They can shop you.
That's what I said. All I need is a big for real. And obviously, just building that chemistry, everyone improving. But with Dion Waiters, I was just like, damn, like, if anything, Miami is going to try to build you back up. basically have trade value and get you to go.
Get
They
you
tried
out
to
of there.
trade him, I think, earlier in the season or during the offseason. I can't really remember.
Nobody
but
wants him right now.
nobody wants him right now, and you can't really trade for a product you haven't seen on the floor in such a long time as well, too. So they're at a crossroads right now. So it's like, what's going to happen? Do you think they're gonna eventually give him another shot, or do you think they're gonna eventually, because he's owed 24 mil, I think. So he's probably just gonna ride the wave or possibly get his contract bought out. We don't know. And then after that, do you think he's gonna eventually go on another team as well too?
Bruh,
Because
NBA.
a lot of people been getting, not a lot of people, but getting X out in the NBA is a thing now.
Bro, elephants never forget, man, as we have seen very recently, and we have seen very blatantly, bro. If Carmelo Anthony can't get a spot on a team, bro, and you messing up like this, again, elephants never forget, bro. People in the league actually talk, bro. Even people like I've been around, like once you get that label, oh, like he likes to party, doesn't he? All that subtle comment, and then you'll have different owners, different coaches, different DMs. Oh, he kind of likes to party, man. I don't know if we can do him on the team. Then you'll be playing in the G League, you'll be playing overseas, but you won't be playing in the league, bro, because all it takes is that one thing. I mean, there's a lot of basketball to go around. They put up with a lot of stuff for different superstars, as we know, but once you get that reputation, bro, and that's anything, bro. Once you get that reputation, like that, shoo, hey. It's a wrap. You written in stone, my guy. So, hey.
You know what's funny too? I forgot to talk about.
What's up?
They said someone on the Miami Heat actually gave him the edibles, and Dion Waiters basically said, "I'm not going to snitch and let you know who it is." I'm trying to think who it is. That'd be funny if it was Jimmy Butler.
It's
I
not
feel like
Jimmy.
Butler would be the type of nigga
It's not. It's not
sometimes.
Jimmy. It's not Jimmy, dog.
Who you think it is?
It's not Jimmy.
Who you think gave him that job?
Oh man.
I mean, it's a no snitching policy, but
Tyler Hero gave it to him.
Tyler Hero, out of all people, Tyler Hero gave it to him.
I'm playing Tyler.
Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk
He just
definitely gave it
nah,
to him.
nah,
We're not doing that.
By his cover. So we off that.
We're off that, bro.
Anyways,
But get right, Dion. Come on, bro. We want to see you hooping, dog.
We want to see you hooping. So hopefully, we
Sheesh.
can bring you back down to earth. Be humble, learn from your mistakes, and just keep doing you, and you will find your way back in either to another team or getting some playing time because you're a pretty damn solid player. I like what I saw last year. So keep it up. You'll be all right.
You're going to China, bro.
I ain't say all that. He could though. Moving on from there, D'Angelo Russell played against Minnesota, and he went off. He had 52 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and he looked great. This is the exact reason why the Golden State Warriors brought him in.
They're going to trade him, too.
That's basically where I'm going towards again as well, too. It kind of sucks because obviously with Draymond Green out, Steph Curry out for a little bit, and Klay Thompson basically gone for the whole season, he's going to have to be that ball dominant, have to basically create for others and create for himself as well, too. So I expect for him to go off like this moving forward as well, too. But my thing is, and what I alluded to a little earlier, even in the last episode, is with all these players out, they're going to build up D'Angelo Russell's stock, and then they're going to trade him.
My thing is, why can't he stay?
I mean, he could stay. He definitely could.
He's
stay.
a little bit more ball dominant than the regular perennials. I mean, like, of course, you get Steph a lot of touches. He doesn't dribble as much, other than like when he's doing the super point guard role thing. Klay doesn't take too many dribbles, so I mean, he's not a ball stopping anyway. He flows with the offense. He's one of those players that like, or is gonna get his ISO, is gonna score maybe off a screen and roll and stuff like that. But why? Unless it's really going to change just the whole face of your team as far as just like how you guys run the offense, why can't he stay? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's pretty interesting because you got one standpoint. It's like, oh, the Warriors don't have the depth that they had last year, so maybe if they already have their big three, they can get some role players out of them as well too. Mm-hmm. Or, like we said, the Warriors in the past have drafted pretty good and developed their players pretty good. So it is a blessing in disguise that their big three is out right now and they can develop this young core. So by the time they are exposed for a full season, everyone comes back, then you can see how it looks with their 4 All-Stars as well too. Yeah. So me personally, depending on how they want to manage Steph Curry, and depending on if Klay comes back, I would probably I probably keep him. I just want to see what that dynamic looks like with Draymond, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and D'Angelo Russell together.
Dog,
Because
he's
at the end of the
23
day,
years old.
at the end of the day he is building up his trade value right now. So you don't necessarily have to trade him now. You can end up trading him in offseason. But let's see what it works out with. Hopefully Klay Thompson can come back and play 10 to 12 games. Hopefully Steph Curry can come back, by like late December, early January, something like that, and we can see how they gel together.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents on that. Anything else you want to add
I
to
don't
it?
know. D'Angelo Russell's 23 years old, bro. He's not losing a step. He's only getting better. So, I mean, granted, you have to see what's on the market. If you could get like a Giannis or something like that for him, bet. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. But also, if you can't find anything that's gonna drastically shift your organization, or like you're not gonna get a good 3 or 4 role players that's gonna put you guys over the top back to where you guys were. I think D'Angelo Russell. You talking about building in the draft too. I think he's great because, I mean, granted, you have a few seasons that you're down. Say it's a 5-year plan. You have 1 or 2 seasons that you're down. And this sounds like blasphemy, but I mean, granted, you have a Klay that might want to go prove himself somewhere else, or
He's inked there for 5 years.
he's inked there for 5 years. So other than D'Angelo Russell, so the only thing that would put me off of it would be his deal, because eventually, from the start of it, initially, it was, all right, we're going to bring him in for a year, let him play, let him hoop, and then, we'll trade him for some better stuff. So that probably is the plan already. But he's a good young star. He's going to flourish somewhere. And from his playing style, I don't see why it couldn't be the Warriors. Yeah. But I feel like maybe he'll go back east somewhere. And
I mean, he said he always wanted to play with Cat, so that'll be lit. Or that'll be dope if he played with Devin Booker, because they're boys as well, too. He'll be a tough point guard with them. Yeah. That'll actually be sick.
So we'll see.
We'll definitely see with that.
Booker, though, I don't think he's going to the Suns. I think the Suns are going to get too hot this year. I think he'll maybe more end up going towards Cat. Cat might need it after that chokehold that Ben Simmons had him, man.
Sick of. So staying with the Warriors just for one more minute. Shout out to Eric Pascal. A lot of you guys do not know, my parents are both from Liberia in West Africa, and Eric Pascal is one of the only Liberian player in the NBA. Plays for the Warriors, and obviously, for you guys that don't know, last week he went for. He played against the Warriors. Against the Blazers, and went for 34 and 13. So
he went kind of stupid.
I think he got drafted in the second round. So they definitely found a diamond in the rough. But
they're very good at that.
Like I said, it's a blessing in disguise that these star players are out, because you have a chance for these players to develop at a faster rate than possible, because they weren't going to get that many minutes anyway. So just want to give him a shout out to that. And anything you want to say on his game or anything like that?
It was just tough. He came out of nowhere. I wasn't even following him too much, so he's definitely on my radar now. So hopefully we get to talk about him a lot more as the season goes on. So we'll see what happens. And that, I don't know. We talking about the Warriors could be out of the playoffs. We don't know. We don't know. West is tough, but
they would just have to beat up on the East.
On God.
Yeah, on God. Another shout I want to give to is my guy, the logo, Damian Lillard. Literally went for 60 points against the Nets, but ended up losing as well too. He just solidified. I think he took this personal. A lot of people took this personal, because now there's been a debate. There was a debate going into the season: who's better, or who would you rather have to build around your team, Kyrie or Dame? Dame actually gave him the business. You know what I'm saying?
He did
Obviously,
give him the
Kyrie
business.
still gave him like 34, and they got the win. But
60 compared to 34.
60 pieces is pretty insane. The only thing I really want to touch on with that is, with CJ McCollum struggling right now. I think I have his stats pulled up right now. Obviously, they got the injury bug with him as well too. But this season, CJ McCollum's averaging. I think it went up because he had a 23-point game the other night. But he's averaging 19.8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and shooting 39% from the field itself. And then if you look at last season, he averaged 21 points, and then he shot 50% from the field as well too. Well, actually, not 50% from the field. He shot 46% from the field, and actually averaged more assists and more rebounds as well too. Do you think it's just a case of a shooter slump, like a James Harden started off pretty cold first couple games, and he has to get back into it, just because Portland only goes as far as Dame and CJ take them
Yeah.
together. They both have to be in sync. They both have to be in tandem. And right now, I think they're 10th in the Western Conference. Obviously, it's early, but are you concerned right now that they're 4-6 right now?
No, I'm not concerned. CJ's in a little slump. I mean, it speaks to what it would look like if Damian had to kind of do everything by himself in a way. And we still know he can go crazy with that and still lead the team with that. But CJ, when he's firing on cylinders, can really make them a top seed in the West easily just because the West is that tight. But I'm not really worried. I mean, people go through slumps. I think the way CJ has to get out of the mud, he's always accustomed to working. It's just when those shots fall and when they don't fall. So right now it's a little thing where they're not falling, but believe me, it's gonna come to a time again where it's boom, and it's like, damn, like we were sleeping on these guys. Nah, bro, they're proven. CJ's gonna be fine. He hasn't taken a step back. He's just in a little rut. We'll be fine.
Okay. Cool. Like I said, injury bug's been hitting them. Rodney Hood's day-to-day with a back. Hassan Whiteside day-to-day as well, too. Lingering right foot sprain. Pau Gasol, who I didn't even know they had. I saw him on the bench in street clothes, even right there on the screen. I was
Yeah,
like, what? He's not going to play as well, too. His foot. Zach
Crazy
Collins is
Gasol.
out. I think he said Collins underwent surgery on his left labrum and will be reevaluated in 4 months. And then, obviously, Nurkic is out, still nursing, I think, his foot injury as well, too. So, obviously, a lot of important pieces on their squad as well, too. So, it's going to make sense for them to struggle. I don't really know what their schedule is looking like moving forward, but like you said, they're proven. They've been in the playoffs every single year since Dame's been there. Got to the conference finals last year as well, too, what they have. And like you said, CJ should get out of that slump, and they should move forward regardless of, what they have or don't have as well, too.
Dame's different, dog.
It would be kind of dope if they made a little change up because I feel like the way they're constructed now, I don't think they can beat the Lakers or the Clippers, even like the Nuggets.
So you want to get rid of CJ?
See, I would love to keep those guys in the backcourt, and if they can find a way to add, let's say, Kevin Love,
Interesting.
that would be kind of dope. Or even a player like, what's that forward from the Thunder, Gallinari? I feel like they're missing that 3
like
type of player.
Stretch.
I think Gallinari would be a better fit actually.
Yeah.
If you can get Nurkic back as well too. But
Sheesh.
yeah, that's all I gotta say about that as well too.
I want the Warriors to get one in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Like in my basketball watching prime, to say like when Damian Lillard is still hooping, like because he's been loyal, he's a no guy. It'd be like Damian Lillard getting the championship would be like AI getting the championship. You know what I'm saying? He's like from a loyalty.
That's how I feel with Russell Westbrook.
You know what I'm saying? From a
He's
reincarnated. Okay, so Dame's filthy, dog. So that would be tough. And the way he carries teams when he carries them, at the same time, you live hard, you die hard too. So like we've seen them get exited, but we know it's no sweat off Damian Lillard's back because he does everything for his team. So hey,
Dame time always, baby.
Yeah.
And you murdered Shaq too in that rap battle. Got you, boy. Next thing I want to talk about is Ben Simmons' shoulder injury. So apparently when they played against Utah and lost that game, he suffered a grade 1 AC joint sprain in his right shoulder. So he's going to be reevaluated. I think he actually got reevaluated today. I didn't really hear about any major updates, but I think he's going to be set to miss the next 3 to 4 games itself. Obviously, they just signed him to a max contract extension, and he's an integral part of that team. You could argue he's the best or second best player, whichever angle you want to take it as well, too. But are you concerned about this injury, knowing that it's the shoulder as well, too? Do you think that the 76ers should be able to keep afloat? They have Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, and Al Horford, those vets there as well, too. But do you think they're going to be missing his playmaking ability, his overall length on the defensive end as well, too?
Yeah, I think it's going to impede their progress. I don't think they're going to be dead in the water by any means. But from a shoulder injury, this nigga don't shoot anyway. I mean, Ben Simmons don't shoot anyway, dog. So why am I concerned about his shoulder? Like, In grade 1, he doesn't shoot. Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Okay. You have a girl that hit you with the okay. And then you have to, like, scramble, like, to get your text and your DM game right again. It's like, well, it's like, okay. You don't shoot anyway, dog. Like, I mean, hopefully, it's not gonna hurt this. They're in the East. They can win games. If it was the West, might hurt a little bit. It might put them into, like, as far as the season goes, he misses like 10 games maybe, and at the end, those 10 games that he missed might hurt them in the West. But it's the East, bro. You might get some cupcake teams here or there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not gonna say cupcake. I'm just saying teams that just don't. Out of the best 16 teams, I feel like 10 of them up because they're in the West. You know, so keep it a stack.
That's what we said. Like you said last week, let's just take away the East and West. Top 16, let's get it.
Oh God.
But anyways, like another thing I want to talk about too is like, bruh. And I was with you guys Friday night at Manny's crib, and I was like, yo, if I'm not watching a Philly game live, I purposefully do not check the box score so I can go to the full game highlights of Ben Simmons to see if
and watch him not shoot
jump shot. He hasn't shot a jump shot yet, bruh. Nothing. Like, fools, go. We got so hype a couple weeks ago talking about the 3 he hit, and social media went crazy. I'm like, all right, he's starting to get his confidence back. But, like, if the Sixers want to take it to the next level, he has to shoot.
Hey, ladies, Ben Simmons, the dude that's like, yo, like, told you everything's good. It's a good game. And then once the rubber meets the road, then it's like, you said you were different. You said you weren't like that. I said I'm like everybody else, boo. You thought was different, but it's just not different at all. He's the same guy. I'ma change. What's the Lauryn Hill song? And now you crazy. The X Factor. Cry to me. He said, lie to me. Where were you when I needed you? He said, she said, you always hurt yourself to make me stay. But this is crazy. Oh, baby. Shout out Lauryn Hill. You heard me. But ain't nothing changed, dog. Why am I concerned about a shoulder injury? Granted, get better, make your money, my guy. But
yeah, Philly gonna be fine. Ben Simmons, you're gonna be fine as well too.
Joel Embiid gonna hit more threes than this year than him.
And Al Horford.
On God.
Oh, everybody, bro. Even Aaron Baines probably gonna hit more threes than he probably already hit more threes.
Oh, sheesh.
Doing that jump from 3.
Head coach.
Toronto Raptors point guard Kyle Lowry has been diagnosed with a fracture of the distal phalanx of his left thumb and will be reevaluated in 2 weeks.
That sounds like a Kyle Lowry injury.
Yeah, I think that's the same exact thumb he hurt in the playoffs last year as well, too, because he was playing through pain as well. So, like I said, 2 weeks as well, too, and it was kind of blown because tonight he's supposed to be going up against Kawhi. The Raptors are supposed to be going up against Kawhi and the Clippers as well, too. I'm not really concerned as well. Championship team, like I said before, Kawhi even got there. They were a top 1-2 seed every single year. I said they have, Nick Nurse, Pascal Siakam has emerged as a top tier star in the East and in the NBA overall as well too. And they have that system intact. They got depth, so he's going to be missed. But there's a reason why Fred VanVleet's on that team as well too. That boy gets buckets, so they'll be fine. Last thing I want to talk about is Gordon Hayward, man. This guy cannot catch a break. So basically, Gordon Hayward is going to be out. They just updated this. He's going to be out for 6 weeks following successful surgery to repair a broken 4th metacarpal bone in his left hand. So basically,
sounds like a Kyle Lowry injury.
The Spurs. I think he kind of ran into LaMarcus Aldridge, and the rest is history from then and there too. It kind of sucked because, like I said, last year he was just going through so much, the season before going through so much with breaking his foot on opening night, trying to catch an alley from Kyrie Irving, which was a terrible alley, by the way, and then sitting out the whole season, seeing the team have the success that you were supposed to be a part of, and then you come back. Obviously, with the major injury like that, it kind of takes another year to get back into the gist of things. But he finally started to get back this year. I did not. I mean, in the back of my head, I always thought he's going to get back to normal, but I think like the first maybe 2 games, I wasn't really paying attention to Boston like that as well too. But this year, averaging 19, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 55% from the field, and then also he shot 43% from three. So he was looking like Gordon Hayward of old, looking like an all-star caliber player as well too. And you got that combined with Kemba, and you got that combined with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You literally got a free all-star because no one thought he was gonna play up to this level. People seem to have forgotten as well too. But I think it's a major blow to the Celtics because I think they only lost 1 game right now, I believe.
Gordon Hayward to the Blazers.
That would be tough. But yeah, major blow for the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? You got an all-star. And this year, I really realized like he's a great playmaker.
Tough.
And he kind of gives you that balance, and he allows Kemba Walker to play more off ball, especially Marcus Morris as well too. And then you got Tatum and Brown who can show that essentially the opportunities to slash to the basket, and he can, like I said, make plays for him as well too. But he seemed like he had that role where he was becoming a closer, and he just had his confidence, and it just sucks that he has to go through another set of trials and tribulations, but I think he'll be fine moving forward. So good thing is it's only 6 weeks. But, what are your thoughts on the injury? Do you think that's going to be something that's going to be a concern for the Celtics as far as like how seasons go? Because that's 6 weeks, and they're kind of top heavy right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's the reason why they paid Jaylen Brown the money they paid him. So I expect to see him step up and Jason Tatum step up as well too. But what are your thoughts on the injury?
He's playing really well. I don't think it's going to hurt them as bad as it could other teams. And again, it's the East. I'm sorry, I'm like really shit on the East today, but it's just how life is right now. You know what I'm saying? People get on you down, get up. You heard? But nah, Gordon Hayward is playing phenomenally off of all the adversity that he's been through. Efficient, big guard, can shoot that thing. He's a really good playmaker. From the Celtics standpoint, from their flow, it might hurt them a little bit, but they have the firepower. They got Kemba for a reason, and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and then the role pieces as well. So I think Gordon Hayward being out is a minor setback for hopefully a major comeback because he was playing so well. And hopefully with it, he can still work out a little bit here and there. He'll be conditioned. It just will be like a little bit of rehab here and there on his hand, kind of really taking care of it. And hopefully he doesn't re-injure it anytime soon. Yeah. So
because like the way they were playing, especially Gordon Hayward, I was like,
top and ease.
I can see them if he plays like this, mixed with everyone else who we just mentioned, with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then Kemba Walker, they could potentially get to the finals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So still early. Like you said, they're in the East, and they should have enough players to keep them above float. Like I said, they're already in a good spot. Only lost 1 game, so we'll see how things go from there. Any last things you want to say before we wrap this episode up?
Any last things? Dang, that flew by. Sheesh.
Very quick.
And we talked about Seezus trade one day. You switched it up on me. Let's see. Yo, if you're going to buy people tickets, all right. If you're gonna buy people tickets,
whoa! That's what I want to talk about.
If you're a millionaire and you're gonna buy people tickets,
yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. So let me go to the DM that I sent you today. Actually, that actually made me mad. Actually made me very mad. Okay, so obviously I was following the Toronto Raptors a lot last year because of Kawhi, but there's a super fan. His name is I don't even know his name. What's his name? Oh, Nav Badia. He's a super fan for the Toronto Raptors. I think he was on the Inside the Green Room podcast. If you guys don't know, that's Danny Green's podcast. Very, very fire. Sponsored by Yahoo Sports. Shout out to you guys. Anyways, there was some guy named Muhammad Lila, a verified account, basically said, the best NBA story just happened and nobody even knew. Last playoffs, a Milwaukee fan posted a racist tweet at Toronto Raptors superfan Nav Badia. This week, Nav flew there, bought him dinner, and got his whole family tickets. The fan now says they're friends for life. this made me mad. Like, I literally message Trey right after. I was like, you mean to tell me this guy is probably loaded with bread? You could do anything and you decide to do this? Like, are you trying to gain some acceptance from someone that doesn't like you, someone that's clearly racist towards you? I don't get it. And my thing to Trey, I was like, yo, if you got that bread, if you're willing to fly there, get this guy dinner, and then him and his family some tickets as well too,
For being a racist.
knowing where you sit at Toronto on the floor seats, you probably spend bread on that too. So I was like, yo, why can't you like go to Toronto to an inner city area and get some kids to go to a basketball game? Like take them on a field trip to a basketball game or do something else. Maybe he does things that go unnoticed, but I don't know, man. That kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. So I just want to talk about that. But what are your thoughts on that, man?
Dog, bro. Y'all stop feeding into these people's like their ignorance, man. Like on God, bro. Like there's no reason, bro. Let them be ignorant to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Treat the people who don't have it, who deserve better. Treat them, give them opportunity to something different, and then we can work. We can create a discussion with these people. We can show them kindness, but that for somebody who's being you just so much better stuff to spend your money on. And I don't know. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But what I'm saying is, why not a kid that might never get that experience in his life? Why are you treating somebody that was blatantly disrespectful and rude to you when there's so many kids out here that could? And to me, it kind of speaks volumes to you and what you think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, all respect to the man, but hey, there's people out here that need that opportunity, that should have that opportunity, that might never have it. So let's look at them before we look at somebody across the aisle being a bigot. You heard me? But other than that, as far as this episode wraps up, bro, super excited to be here. Great things to talk about. If you get on a plane, do not take an edible. That's not good. Everybody stay in school, bro. Everybody drink some water because it was long. Stay off the weed. Yeah. Shout out Mike Checks, the whole fam, Manny G, everybody. For this weekend, bro, was tough. Like, but nah, it was really good, bro. Life's just getting started, man. You already know what's going on. Trade day all day.
Trade
7-5.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 65 of the Seezus Show. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We will be back next week. Subscribe, rate, comment, and share. There's Trey Day XXIV, Sir Seezus at Sir Seezus, the Seezus Show. Get hip. We out.
Peace.